In a world where laughter was king.
No in a world, Jack.
What do you mean, no in a world?
It's not that kind of movie.
Oh? Okay. In a land that...
No in a land either.
In a time...
I don't think so.
In a land before time.
It's about a comedian, Jack.
One man.
No.
When your life is no longer your own.
What does that mean?
When everything you know is wrong.
That's wrong.
In an outpost.
No.
On the edge of space.
There's no space.
A girl.
No.
Two girls.
No.
Now.
No.
More than ever.
Stop it.
A renegade cop.
I hate you.
A robot renegade cop.
You're fired.
You're fired.
No, you're actually fired.
I'm fired.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
We are TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is monitoring all the reactions to the Behind the Curve documentary. Some are good, some are bad, but the one thing it has done is more and more people have become aware of Flat Earth. Love them, hate them, be indifferent, no longer is the theory hidden in the back alleys. Soon, he predicts, it will be more and more in the mainstream media, just waiting for the Jeopardy answer. He wore shorts in the Flat Earth documentary. Who is Mark Sargent? Oh, that's funny. That's actually pretty good. It's one of your better ones. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living in a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not February 26, 2019, you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this. Children must be taught how to think, not what to think. Who said that? Margaret Mead. I wouldn't have guessed it either. The Mark Sargent 2019 challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. Find out what happens. For more information, please check out Flat Earth Clues, Part 13, The Lost Nail. Okay, quick little rundown on announcements. Thank you to everybody that took part and helped organize the QE 2019 conference down in Los Angeles, otherwise known as Question Everything 2019. It's great seeing everybody, Robbie Davidson, Matt Long, Patricia Steer, Paul on the plane, so on and so on and so on. It was great. It was great fun. Really enjoyed myself down there. It was cold, amazingly cold. 60 degrees in the afternoon sometimes. In Los Angeles, that's unheard of. But remember, kids, climate change is a myth. The next conference I'm going to be going to is the Flat Earth New Zealand Expo, and that's down in Auckland. I'll be going down there with Robbie Davidson and Patricia Steer. It's like we're on tour. And some other people. It's going to be a blast. So if anybody is down under and wants to take part, by all means, just look up the Flat Earth New Zealand Conference, FENZ Expo. And if you still can't find the link for it or whatever, just send me an email. I'll shoot you a link, but you should be able to find it. It's not going to be hard. And I'm going to be making a promo for it, I think, at the end of this week. I've got a lot of interviews this week, but I will do it after, I swear. After that, we have the Flat Earth UK conference. Still haven't heard the details on anything that might be happening in North Carolina. That was slated for early May. I don't know if that's going to happen, and it's kind of important to know because if I do New Zealand, I'll be coming right back and then going right into the North Carolina thing, but whatever. But the Flat Earth UK conference with Roxanne Glenn and that troupe over there, that's going to be happening at the end of September, followed, of course, by Flat Earth New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam. Wow, Amsterdam. Where is it coming with New Amsterdam? And then Dallas, of course, the big conference over here in the States. Also, check out the Flat Earth Sun and Moon app by DITRH, otherwise known as Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, otherwise known as David Weiss. I don't like him much as a person, but hey, he makes some good stuff and he contributes. And so phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. I'm not going to give out the old number anymore because I think everybody's at this point has gotten used because we've been doing the old number for like a year since I transferred over to the new number. We're going to take calls tonight, but I also have a special guest. He's kind of like a play date. That's what's happening with Peanut Gallery. He's setting me up with guest hosts. Last time it was Karen B., otherwise known as Karen Endicott, otherwise known as Don't Mess With Her. And this week is going to be Zuluone, also known as the voice from New York. He really should have done radio, I think, at one point, but he ended up, doing that whole firefighting thing and saving lives. Whatever. All right, so let's get into it. Zulu, are you there? You can take your mute button off at this point.
Hello, Mark. I am here. How are you this evening?
I am good. How are you?
Awesome.
So,
you're too kind. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Come on, man. It's okay.
I know. It's fun. I like it. I with people.
We have a lot of little things to talk about. We won't take calls right away because Zulu and I are going to be talking. But I do see 304 and 438. Wait, that's a weird one. I have not seen that one before. 438. That's out of I don't generally, but it's out of Quebec, Canada. That's really interesting. 619. I'm seeing new numbers here. I usually recognize patterns when it comes to numbers. So I will pick up 619, 479. We'll get them all. But anyone that wants to call, just hang on for a little while. You guys haven't been on that long. So, how are you?
Pretty good. It's cold here. You were saying it was cold. I know 60 is relatively cold for LA, but
well, that's at the end of the afternoon. It snowed in LA. It also snowed in Vegas while we were down there.
Really?
Yeah. And then there were people, Paul on the plane messaged me. He's still in the Los Angeles airport. I think his flight was canceled because of all the, because everything comes from the East Coast first when it comes to air travel. And so many flights were canceled in the East that in the West, they just gave up. It's like, So,
yeah.
Oh, that was interesting.
Arizona somewhere too.
Well, there's that.
Where is it, Linda?
Huh?
Tucson. My wife's sister lives in Tucson, and it snowed there, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Arizona.
Yeah.
Again, as much as I'd like to say global warming, I still kind of agree with climate change, just because I've seen just weird weather everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're absolutely right.
Quick little story for you. And I saved these stories. When I was coming back from Los Angeles, you go through the body scanners in most airports. Those 3-second, quick body scanners, and they're checking you. And if you have anything in your pockets, they will be like, "Oh, you got a quarter at the bottom of your other pocket you missed, or a piece of dryer lint, whatever it is." So I come out of this thing. I'm not even wearing my hat. And he looks at me and he looks at the monitor. He looks at me and looks at the monitor. And he goes, "It's telling me to scan your face, but I'm gonna let you go." And I was like, "What?"
Oh no! They found that Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. I was apparently morphing. Who knows? Maybe they found my lizard implants. But It was interesting was that Peanut Gallery actually sent me an article like 5 minutes before the show, which I didn't read because it was 5 minutes before the show. Peanut Gallery. And what do you mean offline? I don't even know what all caps offline means. You went offline, not from where I'm standing. We didn't go offline. Mark and I are still talking. Aren't we talking, Mark?
Yeah, he could be talking about YouTube or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only one that ever says that. I mean, usually if we go offline, everybody lights up. Everybody lights up. I mean, the whole everybody in the chat room. It's like, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Peanut Gallery is literally the only one that said, really, TFR says this program went offline. Huh? No?
Yeah.
That's probably because we were talking about scanners. Who knows?
Yeah. It shut me down.
Yeah. Anyway, the other thing was I've got to. What is Lady Voice? TFR says this program went offline. Lady Voice. You've got to write in. Had to refresh TFR, says Karen B. Well, we'll see if it recorded. That's also the tough part. You know, we're streaming this straight to the TFR cloud, and
right.
Sometimes the show can go, can have all sorts of problems, but the recording is just fine. Anyway, so okay, funny story. Then we'll talk about Behind the Curve and some other stuff. So funny story for you, real quick. So I got an email just before I left for Los Angeles, and it was the daughter of the Peanut Gallery, not to be confused with the Bride of Frankenstein or the Son of Kong. And she wrote me and said, she goes, "Hey, just want to know if you could still fit into an extra large shirt." And I didn't know how to take that exactly. And part of me wanted to do the whole feminine thing. It's like, are you saying I'm fat? Is that what you're saying? I'm fat? What the hell? Did she think?
Do you feel bloated, Mark? Are you okay? How'd you weight? How are you doing? You okay? You know, I haven't been stress eating, right? Hello?
And another jar of caramel? Is that no? You know what it was? It was because of the cookie reference from all those years ago. You know that I said send cookies.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. And by the way, you know why I asked for the cookies is because people are asking me, "Oh, can I donate? Can I do Patreon or send money and blah blah blah?" And I felt kind of guilty about that because it's like, look, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just think the Earth might be flat. Don't necessarily send me money for that. And so I said, if you're going to send anything, here's my physical address in Boulder, Colorado, which I feel bad for them because I'm sure they get packages quite often.
They'll get cookies and they're like, what the hell?
What the hell? Although the landlord never called me and I'm easy to track down. So I would think somebody, but I forwarded my email or my regular mail there for an entire year. So anyway, so for the daughter of Peanut Gallery, I did not take it as an offense, but I thought that's something you would never say to a woman. It's like, so can you still get into a size 7? Really?
Oh no, that's suicide.
Yeah, I mean it's one thing. There's the trap question. Do these jeans make me look, whatever it is, bloated? Yeah, which you never ever, guys, if you're ever never say never say that. Now, if they're having problems, I got into trouble actually with, the girl I was staying with in Canada. She put it on a few, and she was having trouble getting into said jeans. And what was I supposed to do? Then she sort of threw that at me. I'm going, look, I just watched you spend 10 minutes trying to get into those pants, so don't ask me. Ask the pair of pliers it took to help you to get into them.
That's ironic, Mark. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but we have a lot of synchronicity stuff. Like,
do we?
Shauna pointed this out to me, how this happened. And it's funny because a lot of times you talk about things on the show, and I was like, I was thinking about that all day. And tonight, Kyle and I were at the movies, and we saw Alita Battle Angel or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I think that's actually it. And in the movie, there's a scene where, they reference, say, don't piss her off, that little girl, because she'll kill you. Right. And I said to Kyle, leaned over, and I was like, don't ever piss off a woman. Don't ever be stupid and say the wrong thing. And the two girls next to us started giggling. They were like mid-20 women, age, and they started laughing. But I was like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Yeah. Well, you know the old saying, which is "Hell hath no fury like a woman
Absolutely.
scorned." The story, and if you guys, anyone that goes back all the way to the beginning, the first Strange World episode, you'll remember this, where I talked about my fireworks thing. How did I get nailed for the fireworks thing? Was it because of a manufacturing mistake? Was it because of an explosion? Was it because of something that one of my workers did? No, it was a woman who my girlfriend didn't want to have us working with the fireworks anymore because she was jealous of this girl. She thought this girl was flirting with me on a regular basis, and this girl, you think it's hyperbole. She said, if you cut me off from this, if because she wanted the money. If you don't let me work for you, I'm going to drop the dime on this whole thing. And she's 19, a college girl. Was she really going to call the FBI? That's exactly what she did. She called the FBI, and they ignored her the first time. And this will give you the whole determination thing. After 2 weeks, she sees me still walking around campus. Right? She calls him back. Says, "Look, I want this guy gone. What's he still walking around campus for?" Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't even cheat on her. Oh,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I guess I mean, maybe it's not just women, but karma in general. Yeah, don't fuck around like that.
Yeah. Well, no, a lot of it is women. Women are they exact. Men will talk a lot of trash and like follow up on none of it. Right? You know this, right? Guys talk shit all the time, right?
Yeah.
When a woman says, "I will never take a woman for granted ever again," and since I was 20, which was, if they say they're going to do something, don't you dare turn their back on that. Unless
I'm going to slash all your tires.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to slash all your tires.
Yeah. Yeah. I will take your clothes. I will put them in a wheelbarrow. I will throw gasoline on them, and I will cook dinner over the flames.
Yeah, totally.
Look, it's true. Women, I've had, of all the weird stories I've heard over the years, women are the ones that follow up more often than not. Look at, not to bring up something gross, look at the whole Bobbitt story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men are worms.
Yeah, they are. So let's get into it, and then and everyone I see in 304-619-479-864, we will pick you up after the first break. We only got 10 minutes, so I want to talk to Mark briefly about the behind the curve thing, because as you know, you saw it early. You got to see it before general release at a film festival in New York City.
Yeah.
And then it was released on iTunes and Google Play and Amazon Prime and YouTube, and then only recently, only a week ago, give or take, it was released on Netflix. And I did not realize that apparently almost everybody owns Netflix except me.
Yeah. My friends texted me today. They were like, "Hey, that's you. What is this? What's going on here? Who is it? What? You know Mark Sargent?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, No, that's not. You don't know this guy. I'm like, "Yeah, I do. We hung out. Of course I know him for years." And they were like, "Wow!" They couldn't believe it. And yeah, I was just surprised that they saw me.
Yeah,
I'm only what.
Jaron had high school classmates contact him out of the blue. People he hasn't talked to in years. I had high school classmates. I couldn't even tell you what decade I had talked to him last. Posting in Facebook that they knew me.
Really?
Yeah. And isn't that how it goes though? It's like all of a sudden, there's some celebrity status thrown on you. It's like, oh, I totally knew that guy.
Oh yeah, I used to beat his ass up in high school.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's like. Yeah, people are saying, "Oh yeah, he was one of my best friends in high school, and we kind of fell away when we went off and did real world stuff after college." And he was bringing up all the stuff from junior high all the way through senior year, and I was like, "Wow."
I knew one celebrity. Do you remember Al Brown, the singer?
I'll
Like,
say yes. I'll
Well,
say
he was like an R&B singer in the
okay.
80s, 90s.
Yeah.
But he grew up in my neighborhood, and we used to karate box and fight it behind my friend's house because he was a boxer and he loved watching us beat each other up for his entertainment. It was hysterical.
Wow.
And I'll be sure this singer, rapper, R&B guy was the only person I knew who could ride a bicycle backwards.
That is pretty
Sit
cool.
up on the handlebars and ride. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, that was impressive. That was impressive. I couldn't do that. Every time I tried to boast in my ass.
My friend was debating with I think he was either the valedictorian or the salutatorian. Well, he was a straight A student, no question. He was like one of the brightest kids in the school system. And my friend was saying that, that I have a high IQ or blah blah blah. Obviously, 130 plus, blah blah blah. And the super nerd came straight at him and says, "Oh, I absolutely don't think so. You're exaggerating this. He is not, And my friend said, "Hey, look, this kid survived an ATF raid by the time he was 20."
Yeah.
I was going, truth is, actually, I survived 2 of them because they couldn't find me during the first one. But, that's just
I love that story. That story absolutely has to be told and in a book. There
was a film student that turned it into a project back in the 90s. Turned it into a film project. I still think it is one of my favorite stories ever. And again, it was so weird and happenstance. People just don't know. I am lucky to be alive. I should have been blown up so many times or shot or stabbed or I don't know. Who knows what would have happened to me. But it's the fact that I was doing this without a care in the world when I was in university was just stunning.
Hey, I've always wanted to ask, why do you call it university? Well,
okay, you're right because you picked up.
I always just say college, but I do know, like I'm sorry if I'm yelling.
No, sorry.
My brother and sister-in-law, they went to a university. I didn't. I went to a college. So
okay.
I'm just curious.
Here's why. When I spent my year up in Victoria, Canada, when I was staying up there with Melody, who came to the second ever.
After you got out of grade 13.
Okay, so because I would say when I was up, there's a few differences between Canada and here. I'm sorry, between Canada and here, and one of them is it's a big difference actually. There's a huge difference. Like we'll say, oh, I went to New York University, right? Or some people say, oh yeah, I went to college in New York. It's the same thing for us. College and university is pretty much the same words. It's interchangeable. It is not in fact, outside of the United States, it's not. In Europe, in Canada, it is a completely separate thing. So they consider college like a technical school. And but we always put the word technical in front of it. We say, oh, he went to a technical college, right? Right. But if you leave the word technical off, well, then it could be a university. It's very different. They never say college is a technical school and university is a full-blown university. And so that's and she goes, you can't say, you can't mix the two. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to do that down in the States because I know that people listen to me outside of the States sometimes and that it's only fair to them. That way it's a little more clear. So there you go. That's why I go. Cool. I know it seems a little awkward for me sometimes when I'm still doing it, but I'm going to keep doing it that way just because it's the international way of saying it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there you go.
Yeah, because they went to Maryland and it was University of Maryland, but she went to the music college.
Or yeah, but I mean, but even if you went to Maryland University, right? When you're driving your kid to school, but like let's say you have a kid, right? You're driving them into school, right? You're driving to that university. To shorten it, it's like, oh yeah, I'm taking them to college. First day of college. It doesn't matter what university. College is what we use as the short version of any university there is because university is 4 syllables and plus you got the name in front of it. You can just say, oh, I'm just taking my kid to college.
We're
How much?
terrible.
How much does college cost? You know, yeah, anyway. So anyway, we have two and a half minutes, but I want to kind of get into this a little more, and then we'll pick up calls and kind of go back and forth on this. So
Okay.
the Behind the Curve documentary came on Netflix and started trending on Netflix, and it basically exploded. Anybody that hadn't seen it, saw it. And for whatever reason, there appears to be a huge chunk of people in the United States that will watch conspiracy videos at home on television and not tell anybody because it's not on their computer. That's their way of doing it. That way they don't have to go through YouTube sometimes. Even though they can go, same interface, but whatever. And so a lot of people, a lot more reviews, a lot more interviews, and Jaron and Bob took a huge, just punches in the gut because of the, how it was edited, and it was edited, in my opinion, unfairly to them. And we'll get into we will get into that after the break. But because of that, they've been defending themselves since it came out for the last week. I mean, from Globebusters and special programs and Jaronism last night, and Karen did a thing today. And yeah, it's again. There's
and Jaron made a good point because he even said, he goes that you and Patricia, they just showed you at home. You weren't doing an experiment or anything. So it was even if they did spin it bad, you could still see that these are real people and they're not idiots,
right?
And stuff like that. Where they manipulate the experiment or whatever's going on, and no matter how you do it, I could do that with numbers. Hey, you either screwed up 30% of the time or you did awesome 70% of the time. Right. So, play with numbers. Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. And the only shot they took at me was the green button, which was, that was literally the only shot they could take at me. And where I was at the NASA Space Center, and I was sitting out the thing, and they showed me hitting the touch screen up above, but it wasn't a touch screen. And then when he pulled back, he just lucked out. He was still focused on the green button. And they didn't show, and through editing, they didn't show that I actually hit it. And I thought that was very, very interesting. So it made me look kind of like a dork, but it's like, under penalty of death, I'm sure he would finally admit to it, but I won't put him to it. All right, so we're going to come back from the break and keep talking with Zuluone and take your calls, 213-233-3998, talking about Behind the Curve. We're going to talk about some other things. So don't go anywhere for 3 minutes.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. We've got Zuluone with us, firefighter, author, and last time I checked, he was like third place on Dancing with the Stars. So, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, and I'm an EMT.
And you're an EMT? Right on. That's cool, man. Couple things. We're gonna pick up some phone calls now, but I wanted to, and we'll get back into the Behind the Curve and stuff. I also wanted to mention, though, real fast, I don't know if you saw that last video that I made with that power coin thing, but again, remember how my autobiography is going to be called Unsolicited? This company over in the Pacific Rim decided to make these solid silver flat Earth models. Basically, put them on giant coins, 2-ounce silver coins, and so I ordered one because I was looking for it when I was down in Los Angeles. I was doing some interviews. I realized that kind of cool magnifying glass one that I have that looks like a sports stadium. It's cool, but for most people, they really want to see through the walls instantly. And so I was looking for a cool little model, and so I'm going to get one of those and try it out and see what I think. They are not cheap. They cost almost as much as one of Chris Pontius's small models. But I think I'll let you guys know when I get it. Look pretty cool though.
Nice. Yeah, and Chris's stuff is awesome too.
Yeah. But by the way, you might want to speak into the mic a little louder.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was yelling before, and then I didn't want to yell.
No, now
right.
you're kind of quiet. But that's okay.
Hello.
Yeah, you'll live.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
you can turn it up as loud as you want. I don't think you'd break the microphone or anything. All right, we'll grab 304 first. 304, this will be the first call. Let's make sure you can get in there. You're on with Strange World and Mark and Zulu, and what are we talking about?
Oh, Mark, are we live? This is a rerun.
Yeah, yes, we are live.
Oh man, cat's got my tongue.
That's all right.
Nervous.
You want to talk about Flat Earth Warcraft Guild stuff?
Oh no, well we can, but just had a quick question for Zulu first. If he was going to be doing his show this Thursday night.
Yes, Thursday night at 9:00.
That is
awesome.
a bad sign, my friend, when you have callers try to remind you to plug the show.
That's great. I know. Well, see, like I keep saying, I don't feel comfortable because I don't want to be like anyone to ever say, oh, well, he just plugs it because he knows Mark and he's trying to get people to sub to him and do that. And then it's like, I don't want that. You're my friend, so I'm here because of you, not to plug my stuff. So I never really felt comfortable with that. But
again, more of an acquaintance than a friend. But go ahead.
Thursday nights at 9-ish. It's usually between 9 and 9:30, depending on my schedule. We do a show called Night School. It's myself, Shona Collins, and the other guy, Brian Burton. We call him the other guy because there was a couple of comments made, and even some people called your show and mentioned it and said, and that other guy. So it kind of stuck. So we call him the other guy.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you for assisting me with the plug.
Yeah,
And Nathan,
problem,
you're getting a little echo there, but that's okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you'd ever heard from Master Gunner. I heard from a person I know who was a Force Recon Marine. He said Coriolis effect is real. He was a gunny sergeant, and there is something to bullets.
Really?
I didn't know if he had anything to. Yeah, gunny sergeant. Force Recon Marine. I don't know.
Well, if he did, he'd be one of the rare people. I
know. I got to try to get him on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd love to know what he uses and what he's firing and the distances. And the peanut gallery says a tanker will eat him alive, but we probably shouldn't go into that too much. Anyway, anything else before
All right.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Go ahead, grab Quebec, long distance, dude.
Oh yeah, you're right. I got it. No, he dropped off.
Darn.
Sorry.
All right, Mark. Good show. Anyway, as always, maybe we'll get some trolls calling in who like to troll your YouTube channel.
Hey, that'd be awesome. I'd love to get a troll or two calling. Maybe it'll be the next one. All right, we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, so let's pick up 619. 619. Everybody knows that's out in California. It's bad when I start memorizing area codes. You are on with Strange World and Mark and Zulu. What are we talking about?
Hi, Mark. It's nice to finally speak with you. I was just wondering, because since you were in the movie, I was wondering if you knew about the fiber optic gyro that Bob did there, and how he's actually found that it's going to prove the spin of the Earth, or what do you guys think about that?
Well, I can't speak for Bob. I know that he's done quite a few rebuttals. I liked it for the fact that you actually called it a fiber optic gyro instead of a ring laser gyro, because I was misquoted several times. And yes, I know my chat rooms are saying, it's a troll. No, of course it didn't prove that it's a globe. The bigger question is, And I would challenge this to anybody, and that is the sky moving or are we moving? Plain and simple.
But it still begs the question, Mark, about the celestial sphere. Basically, Tim Osmond's actually on here right now. How you doing, buddy? Anyway, it has been uploaded on my YouTube channel.
No! Oh, he's gone. What happened?
Wow.
I'm actually a little more impressed they used the 619 area code because I could have sworn the last time he tried this, which was months ago.
Wow.
He came in as a
Friend.
No, that's all right. He came in as a yes, I know. I didn't care. Look, I don't care if trolls call in, as long as they don't do too much damage. The last time he called in, he used a Nebraska area code. So whatever. I now know it, so it's not a huge deal. Let's move on to 47.
Remember my first live stream? And he got in there. That was surreal, crazy.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Whatever.
Cool.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Oh, which is, by the way,
whatever.
I will give him a little credit, and it was partially because of him that I never did any Google Hangouts myself where I hosted them because I was too gun shy of somebody, because it only takes one person. It's like when you're inviting somebody to a party. And it's like just one person's like, oh no, I'll invite one person, and then all of a sudden they let in the wrong person, and then the whole thing gets taken down.
You're absolutely right.
It happens. No big deal. All right, let's go to 479. 479. You're on with Strange World. I don't have this one memorized. What's happening?
Good evening, Mark. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, man, I just wanted to call and say thanks again for forwarding that info to Rob Skiba about the Flat Earth meetup we had.
Oh, did he? Did he show up?
Oh, yeah, he showed up. I actually sent you an email. We got the big group photo. We had like 80 people at the meetup.
I didn't realize Rob was in that photo.
No, that's fine. There was a huge photo. We had to take a panoramic because we couldn't fit everybody in there.
Nice.
So it's kind of itty bitty. He's up front, and
that's great.
But it was good. Yeah, they were doing a Torah conference down the road. So a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, they're doing this conference down the road. Let's have a meetup." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a long shot, but what the heck?" And then that Sunday, I get a phone call from another guy who's attending the conference, and he was like, "Hey, man, I don't think your venue's big enough because there's like 200 to 300 flat earthers that are attending this conference right here to see him, and they want to come to your meetup." And I'm like, we got a problem. It's just an itty bitty little place. And
wow.
I had to go to the manager and be like, "Hey, man, just so you know, I know it's Sunday evening and you guys are probably slow usually, but you're going to have a lot of people." And we packed the place out. It was huge.
That is awesome.
It was huge. We all got to meet Rob. He came down and just it was really cool, man.
Wait, are you sure? Wait, when did you send me that image?
I sent you the image, I think 2 days ago. I will resend it tonight.
Okay, yeah, resend it because I've gotten images from several meetups recently and I don't remember that one then. Resend it to me, please.
Yep, I will do that absolutely. But it was so cool to just be able to, because I'd never met him before, and I was like, okay, man, this is really cool. This is Rob Skiba. My wife bought me a pair of headphones for Christmas or whatever it was, so that I could listen to that and not, wake her up listening to him while I'm going to bed and blah blah blah. And so I'm like, hey, this is that guy that you don't like me listening to at night. You bought me the headphones for, and blah blah blah. And so it was just cool, man. So thanks again. Really appreciate it.
No, happy to do it. Well, awesome. Rob is extremely difficult to get a hold of because he's so busy. I mean, because he draws a crowd basically wherever he is. He's one of the nice. He's a really nice guy. He's a straight shooter. And the only person I've ever heard, speak badly about him was Dean Odell. And I get it. One of the side effects, you guys probably heard me say this today on my thing, where one of the side effects of Flat Earth is enhanced conviction. And that is if you have really strong religious beliefs, they are amplified. to the point now where there's quite a few Christians out there that, that say, that are starting to draw a line in the sand, saying you've got to follow certain books and certain passages. And if you don't, well, then your goose is cooked, so to speak. And that's what Dean has done. Rob, of course, would not do this. But Dean's done this, and, the whole fire and brimstone thing. And because of that, he didn't show up at the LA conference that we just went to. So, yeah. It happens.
But no, I totally agree, because whenever I first watched your Flat Earth Clues, my initial gut reaction was, there's no such thing as a firmament. What's this guy talking about? I've read the whole Bible.
Yeah.
And then there it is in page 1 in Genesis, and you're like, well, maybe there's something to that. So it does raise conviction.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, well, cool. I'm thrilled that it went well, and glad I could help in any way. If so, that's for anybody out there. If you guys want to do a meetup, by all means, let me know. As you know, I crank them out on my YouTube channel as fast as I can. So, anything else I can do for you?
Actually, yes. I got a question for Zulu.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're a firefighter, and I'm a firefighter as well, and all the guys at my station know where I stand on the whole topic of flat Earth. So my question to you is, were your guys as ruthless as you could imagine? Firefighters.
They don't know.
They
don't know.
Okay.
I do not talk to them about that.
Okay.
I do.
No.
I will let out. See, I slip in questions. Like, that's pretty strange. The moon. Did you ever notice you only see one side of it? And they're like, yeah. But that's it. They're not. None of them. They're all jarheads and cops. They're retired cops and too straight-laced in that sense. But, they're all like drinkers, and it's football and hockey and baseball and fishing and hunting and, no conspiracy stuff. I got no leeway there with them.
Isn't it crazy how people can be more obsessed with, the game or the sports stats and everything, but it's like where they live, they just don't really seem to care about, like, whatever.
Yes. It frustrates because
it frustrates the heck out of me.
Yeah. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
Flat around, what does it matter? It matters a lot.
I like to call it junk food media. They say that, the public has been dumbed down. And I disagree. I don't think the public has been dumbed down. I think they've been fed such a steady diet of junk food media, which is, look, you can ask anyone. It's kind of like that line from Men in Black. A person is smart, and they are. People, I know guys that know the quarterback ratings of just about every starting team in the NFL, every starting roster. People that know everyone, whoever the Kardashians are dating. There's so many little factoids that we memorize. And one of my friends told me, when I asked him if he wanted to watch, kind of a documentary conspiracy movie, and he said, "Mark, I don't want to learn anything. I want to be entertained." And that's really what it's all about. And there's a lot of entertainment down there. Imagine if the media was like the chip aisle once the food regulations were taken off. You go down the chip aisle nowadays, and it's wall-to-wall chips, and that isn't even all that's out there. That's just the ones that pay to get in that chip aisle. There's like a secondary chip aisle now. So, anyway, anything else? Because I want to pick up somebody else before we go to the break.
That's good, man. Yeah. Take the calls and keep rolling, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, man. Thank you. Talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.
Kisses.
Okay. Keep it flat.
So, it's the Strange World Gay Show. By the way, did you like that link I sent to you when they were talking about what bars do I go to, and I sent them that
the video of the gay bar.
Yeah, I want to take you to the gay bar. Crap, who's the band? That band has actually been used for quite a few movie tracks, and that's a catchy song, although you're not probably going to hear that song in movies very often. All right, let's see if we can grab 864. 864, you were on with Strange World and Mark and Zulu and who knows what else. What's happening?
What's going on?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good considering you're doing it live. You could actually just get a recording of that and play it into the phone.
Yeah.
It's more fun for me to get queued up.
That's good. That's good.
So a few things.
Yeah.
Real quick before you go, Jack, because I won't stop you. But the other gentleman, Nathan, who called before, should talk to Jack about this stuff. Oh my God, we spent hours yesterday, and we're gonna do. Oh, I'm gonna plug another thing. Saturday night, we're gonna do fireside chat, Jack and myself, and I'm gonna ask him Bible questions and Scripture questions.
Wow.
I want to know. And I like other people's points of view on things and what's going on, and that's what we're going to do. All right.
Check out the big brain on bread. Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice to see you, Jack.
So what are we talking about?
Yeah, me and Zulu got into a scriptural rabbit hole yesterday, so we were on for quite a bit. But so a couple of things. First thing is, I listen to your emails when they come out, and number one is Brewster's Millions. That's the first one.
Yep, Brewster's Millions.
Second one is.
Yep.
Second one is you have to stop. Say again.
I think wasn't the Richard Pryor version a remake of Brewster's Millions?
Oh yeah, you're right. I think it was a remake. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right.
And the
second thing is you have to stop saying 52 million because it's now. Hold on 1 second. I got to look at my screen here real quick. It is now $21.5 billion a year, which makes it $58,904,109.50 a day for NASA.
Wow. I'm going to keep using that Brewster's Millions reference, though, because $58 million a day is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. The average person, I don't care if you're average or not, I would be hard-pressed to throw down $58 million a day. You couldn't do it in a 12-hour day. You'd have to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't even know what you'd buy. You'd basically have to buy a jewelry store.
I'd be buying towns.
You'd be buying towns. But that's just it. Even that would take time. The paperwork to buy a town, you wouldn't be able to pay $58 million a day. You just couldn't do it. You'd have to buy super yachts, like multiples. Anyway, that's amazing, Jack. That's
the band was electric.
And the other thing about you being a 33rd Mason shill,
right?
On that note, and how you woke up at 3:30 with the clues, that really what resonated with me because before I ever heard of conspiracy theories or watched anything or heard about masonry or any of that stuff, when I started looking into scripture and not religion, I kept getting 333s everywhere, 333. My first job in AutoCAD was 333 Interstate Boulevard. The place where I bought this RV, the address was 333. When I got laid off of work, I'm like, why would the creator give me this job only for me to get laid off? And I go downstairs and I turn on the key to my motorcycle and the clock says 333 and I felt ultimate peace all of a sudden.
Wow.
And it's stuff like that happens to me on a regular basis. And when I married my wife, when I first started talking to her about it, she thought I was crazy, but now it happens to her all the time as well. So as far as the threes being something that's evil, I mean, look, this is a very complex creation that is, just because evil men have stolen numbers for their own nefarious purposes doesn't mean that everyone that recognizes the numbers is evil.
Right.
That's what I got to say about that.
Good.
And the final thing was climate change, because you keep bringing it up, and it triggers me something awful. Climate change.
Oh, climate change. Okay.
It keeps triggering me something awful.
Yeah.
The reason being is because the question is climate change something that happens naturally, secularly? Is it something that is accidental by man's, just living? Or is it on purpose by men? Or is it because men have been messing with nature and climate change is nature's way of trying to reboot the system?
I'll take the last one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different facets. Like, yes, I agree. There's something very strange going on with nature, but I think it has to do with because men have been trying to manipulate weather, and weather's like, no. So it keeps trying to reset.
Yep.
And so we have this conflict of men against nature constantly.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
that was my spiel.
No, I like it. I've used the analogy. It's a simple analogy of putting a propane lantern in a car that isn't normally in there. The air conditioning system works perfectly fine. All of a sudden you bring a propane lantern in, and the air conditioning system has to compensate for it, and it'll create hot and cold spots where it normally isn't. And I know you're thinking, well, it's not that simple. I'm going, well, no, but you get the point. And that is the propane lantern was not made by the car. It was made by the people in the car. And,
I agree with you that weather works a lot better on an enclosed system.
Oh, absolutely. It does. Absolutely does. And also, come on, I mean, every car engine, we just look at them as cars, but really they're mobile furnaces, really efficient furnaces. They generate a lot of energy, put out a lot of heat. And if you have billions of those things running simultaneously, the system has to compensate for it. And that's just the domestic part, not the part where we're talking about where mankind's trying to manipulate the weather, which makes it even worse. They're taking the existing energy and trying to twist it. I mean, who knows what HAARP's doing and what the system would do to compensate for HAARP. Fascinating to me.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to clarify that because some people get messed up when you say that you believe in climate change, but I got to tell people there's different perspectives on the climate change. There's something definitely happening with weather.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, but absolutely, I think it's us messing with it. Absolutely, I do. Because it's
definitely not what science says, where it's like, oh, because of the way we're living, that's why nature is having this issue. No, it's a combination of everything.
It's a combination. The military, one of the ultimate military goals is to weaponize weather. And that is because if you can do that, you can't get blamed. You can't get blamed for it. It's like if a storm comes in and throws down 1,000 lightning strikes, who are you going to pin it on? So,
that's why they use that term "act of God," right? Because only God can, create weather. And even there's government documentation since the 80s saying that they're going to have complete control of the weather by 2025.
Right.
By 2025, I think they already got it, but
they're certainly
trying. Not control, but manipulation, definitely.
Yeah, they can lean it in a certain direction, and then all of a sudden you have hurricanes in weird spots and tornadoes in weird spots, and I don't know, how about the snow in Vegas and snow in Los Angeles while I was just down there? It's like snow in Vegas.
Well, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, they had a blizzard in Africa in the summer, and they never had snow there ever in recorded history.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely I really think it's men manipulating stuff and the weather system trying to reboot itself. So
yep.
But that's me.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you, and hopefully we will run into each other soon.
All right, Jack.
All right, stay flat, stay true.
Amen.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. After the break, which is coming up, which will be break number 3, we'll pick up 803, then 818, then possibly 612, and we'll see what we can do from there. You having an okay time, Zulu?
Yeah, absolutely awesome time. I wanted to say also, when the other dummy called, when he first started talking, I was going to laugh because it sounded to me like somebody doing a voice.
Yeah, and it was. Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah, no, actually, hey, you know what? I'm a little flattered because
I'm honored. I am totally honored.
He has not called in a while. He hasn't called it into this show in a long time. I mean, it might even be a full calendar year because he knows I have a call board. But ever since the documentary came out, there have been people that thought they retired. They haven't retired. Well, the line from JFK: "You don't quit the agency."
Yeah.
You don't quit Flat Earth. Even the trolls can't quit Flat Earth.
No.
All right, we're going to break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. And by the way, this is only break number 2.
Yeah.
censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing...
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the fretboard? Nothing. All right, tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash, man. Bump everything up to condition ready and stand by the moron. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about
It's great to be fine.
What about Major
What's
Kong?
happened? You see the string in my leg scarring.
What about Major
I
Kong?
never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. We're on with Zuluone, and we're taking some calls, and we're talking about some stuff. Zulu, you still there?
I am here.
Cool. All right. Before we pick up...
I'm not going to fall asleep. I know I have a reputation, but I am having too much of a good time and have a huge smile on my face, so that it's not happening.
That is it. You're ready to fall asleep on my show. There will be penalties. There will be judgment.
I know.
There was
no foot rubs, nothing.
So the number one Flat Earth video right now kind of struck me because the man does not look, he does not have the appearance. It's the beard that's throwing me. So if you type in Flat Earth in YouTube, you don't say click on any filters. It's called The Danger of Dogma and Myth, God, Flat Earth, Aliens, Bigfoot, Illuminati, etc. It's kind of a wordy title, and it's kind of a hodgepodge of things. And it's like, oh, okay, he's just throwing in Flat Earth for the heck of it, right? I listened to this whole thing. It's about 45 minutes long. And you haven't caught this thing yet, have you?
No, I didn't listen to it at all. I saw it, but I have not. There was too many of those going around, those beating up on us, so I didn't get to watch it.
I thought so too. The kind of piqued my interest. Right now, it's sitting at about 5,500 views. He's got 600,000 subs, and I was thinking, okay, he's getting into this. And also noticed that he's not even a conspiracy channel. He is an ASMR channel, a guy ASMR channel, which is even weird. It's like, okay, this seems a little heavy. And so I start listening to this. And if you guys want to listen to this seriously, if you're a flat earther and you want to be infuriated, you got to listen to this. Because he's also an atheist who grew up raised in the Catholic Church and decided to renounce the whole thing and go science all the way. He believes in science. He doesn't believe in any conspiracies. And he was dancing around saying all these different topics up until about the 20-minute mark. You know, like God and aliens and Bigfoot and Illuminati. But he kept using the word flat earth more and more until he got to the 20-minute mark, and he basically caved in. And he said, sorry, somebody's calling on the other line. He caved in and said, okay, here's why I'm making the video. And he started laying down on flat earth. And he said that he had just watched the documentary on Netflix. He didn't agree with everything that was going on there. And then when he got about to the 30-minute mark, it all hit home. And he said the straw that broke the camel's back. I thought that was very interesting. Normally, you guys can see my comment in there. It is very terse. It's like, fine, you think you can do any damage here? Bring your subs, come at us. And we will steamroll you. And here's why, because he's an atheist. He's got no ground to stand on because flat earth will essentially kill atheism. But the other thing is why he said this, the straw that broke the camel's back. The reason why he even got off his butt and made the video in the first place was the part in the documentary, and you remember this because I know you've seen it. Do you remember when I gotta take some of the blame on this. Do you remember when I was up on stage in the documentary at Raleigh and that 12-year-old kid walked up to the microphone? Zulu?
I'm sorry. I hit the button. I hit the button wrong.
killing me.
mute on mute.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. That was the kid that you gave your watch to, right?
Yes, it was the kid I gave my watch to.
Yeah, they were great. They were great people.
They were great. He said that was because when that kid came up there, he realized, and some of the other scenes, the kids were looking up to us, some of these flat earthers, as celebrities. They were looking up to them as, people to, role models, that sort of type of thing. And that for him, that was off limits. We've heard this before. It's all fun and games until the kids get involved. And then it's serious, right?
Really?
Then, okay, all right.
That's their argument.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you guys can talk about flat earth if you want, but don't you dare start preaching flat earth to children. Now, normally this wouldn't have bugged me that much. It's like, okay, fine, I get what you're saying there, Dad. You're trying to, yeah. But here's the thing, and I was one of the few people that actually listened to this. Out of all the releases of Behind the Curve, there's an iTunes version that has a director's commentary on it, where Caroline and Daniel and Nick were commenting on this. Here's the part that really drove it home for me. And I knew it because they went through that entire commentary and they didn't let anything slip until they said this. And they said, and it was almost verbatim what this guy said, right up until it was going to be a human interest story until they saw that 12-year-old walk up to the microphone. And as soon as that happened, they realized they had to pick a side, one way or the other. And then they turned it and it still was a human interest piece, but it was going to be tweaked. It was going to be bent in a certain direction. And he did it because of that. The same reason why this guy even made the video in the first place. The exact same reason, same moment in the movie. And I thought that was very interesting. And it's like, okay. So, it's because when in their opinion, when you're going after, when you're recruiting children or putting the message off to kids, that for whatever reason, it's that point, it's too real for them. It's like, okay, it's on now, and that's one more thing I'll throw at you real quick. That's what National Geographic said. The only reason National Geographic covered us was because of this guy doesn't even know about the U.gov survey. He'll pull some of his beard if he sees that. And that is, the 18 to 24-year-olds in the United States, over a third of them don't even believe in the globe anymore. So you don't have to worry about us going after the kids. We already got the kids. But hey, you want to close the door after the barn door after the fact? Sure, go ahead. Anyway,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, and look at the role models they do have already. Please.
I know. And yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're right. Bill Nye is a better role model after the shows he's been putting on in the last year.
You know what? I'm going to say my child, he's a good man. He's a good person. So I don't care what he believes in. That's his opinion. That's his thing. I don't tell him to believe anything. I tell him all the time, I could be wrong. You have an obligation to learn and research yourself. And that's it's just frustrating.
And with that in point, if anyone wants to go to, again, all you have to do is type in Flat Earth. You'll see the guy with the beard staring straight. That's his thumbnail. Not what I would have picked, but that's okay. His channel is called Ephemeral Rift. Also, not the greatest name in the world because most people don't use the word ephemeral. It's got 600,000 subs. Feel free to comment on my comment or whatever you want to do because this guy... I can't imagine it's going to be his last video because he was having a hard time. He did it for 45 minutes trying to get his point across, and he was angry at the whole flat Earth concept and the fact that he was worried that. I mean, I think he's more worried about the religious, spiritual aspect of it than anything else. All right, we're going to pick up a call. Yeah. Peanut Gallery's bugging me. Hang on. Say the quote from the beginning of the show again. That's why I picked it. Children must be taught how to think, not what to think. Yeah, it's good. It's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
And the girl, I would just want to say real quick, the female physicist at the beginning of the documentary.
Yeah.
Watch her watching it. She's on video. She's acting. It's because I didn't get mad at her when she was putting us down because it was just a script. It was an act. Look at her. Look at her mannerism. She's totally making faces for the camera. If you're watching a video yourself, you're not making faces and doing all that. You're watching video.
Yeah, it's true, and that's also why the scientists in that movie were not the villains, because all of them were way too amicable on camera. They were too nice, because again, they weren't going to either deliberate or they were just camera, that initial camera smile that people get, which was they weren't passionate enough to engage us like we were willing to engage them.
Yes.
So,
yes,
which is why they had to turn someone else into the bad guy, which would be Matt Boylan.
Right.
Which we won't get into because poor Matt.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah. All right, let's grab 803. 803, sorry you've been holding for 40 minutes, but that's what happens, and you may be driving. Are you on with us, or are you just listening?
Hey, this is Trucker Gerald. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well, Trucker Gerald. What's happening out there?
Hey, Trucker Gerald.
Well, hey, how you doing, Zulu?
Pretty good.
Hey,
pretty good.
Man, I think I'm going crazy. I became a flat earther about a year ago, thanks to you and Rob Skiba. You're ruining my life. And I got about 50 or 60 friends on. I got about 50 or 60 friends on Facebook, and every one of them think I'm crazy. My whole family thinks I'm crazy. I don't know one flat earther in person. So, man, I feel so isolated. I feel like I'm going crazy.
Where are you?
South Carolina.
There's plenty of people in South Carolina.
People all over South Carolina. Where do you have? Where's home for you?
Columbia.
Columbia.
Yeah, we can find somebody. I mean, if you
people down there.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, there's a rumor that I may be doing a North Carolina meetup, but in South Carolina, yeah, there's plenty of people. If anyone's curious about the meetups in your particular area, all you have to do is type in Flat Earth Meetup and then the state usually, and it'll show you what the last ones were. In your case, I just type in Flat Earth Carolina or whatever states bordering around you that you may be able to go to. But there's tons of people. Are you like looking for a meetup?
Yeah, I just want to meet somebody in person that's a flat earther. Okay. Man, all I got is people on YouTube, and
that's easy,
I listen to you. I'm a first-time caller, and
Okay, well, here's what you do. First thing, next time you go to my YouTube channel, there's a playlist there called. In fact, hang on. Tell him email me in South Carolina. Yeah, just Jack. The guy, yeah, he'll absolutely set you up. Jack, throw me your email here on the screen, and then I'll give it to Gerald right now. Well, Gerald, are you in a place where you can remember an email, or do you want me to have him email you?
Well, I can give my email right now if you want, because I'm driving at the moment. I can't write anything down.
But go ahead and give me your email right now, and I'll have Jack remember it.
It's Gerald5423@att.net.
So Gerald.
And, I got another question.
Okay, so wait. Just
go
repeat
ahead,
it. Gerald5423@att.net.
That's it. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. What's your other question?
Leaving an email.
I don't understand why globe believers get so hostile, so mad at us for believing the flat Earth. And I mean, I used to watch that show, Ancient Aliens. I used to be addicted to that show, and I used to think that we lived on a globe and we were created by giant aliens. And then until I found you and Rob Skiba, and now I'm a flat Earth believer. I'm a born again Christian, and I just try to study every day and learn something. Yeah. And, man, I tell you what, I just feel like I'm going crazy because everybody is a glober. I mean, I got so many friends that get mad at me on Facebook because I just started posting your Flat Earth Clues on Facebook. I guess I came out of the closet, I guess you could say. And,
good for you.
I even made a YouTube channel, but I'm too chicken to make a Flat Earth video because I'm scared of all the haters.
No, it sounds like you got flat pride, so don't worry about that.
Jump into some of the live chats whenever you get a chance. Type in Flat Earth, set the filters, and look around.
If you're wondering why people are getting so upset, it's mostly because of the conditioning. And you got to remember, you're also telling them something they can't necessarily walk away from easily. You know, if you tell somebody about JFK or 9/11 or Pearl Harbor or whatever, these are something, you know, they can ignore those. But if you tell them the world isn't what they think it is, that's a lot bigger. And some people are really uncomfortable with it. So,
I question everything now. I quit watching television. I canceled my television service. All I do is just research and study the Bible and study flat Earth and think.
Right.
I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like I'm going crazy, though.
No, you're not. Well, if you're crazy, there's a whole lot of people crazy with you. So you're in good company.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But, I do research everything, and
cool. Well, hopefully Jack will send you an email. And you just put your email out there. So any flat earthers in the Carolinas or anywhere around where you were, Columbia, South Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
Hang on, I'm reading through some of the chat boxes. He sounds like the Just Jack echo chamber. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have a lot to talk about. No, there's flat earthers everywhere, man. You don't have to worry about it. You are definitely not alone, and we'll have some people get a hold of you, and there'll be a meetup sometime soon, and you'll have such a great time, because the first time you go to a meetup with people of the of the same kind that you are, the same mindset, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I need to go with one, definitely, because I want to meet somebody in person, because I just feel so isolated, man.
Right on. Well, we got you covered, man. Don't sweat it. We'll take care of you soon, okay?
All right, I listen to you all the time. Your YouTube, your TFR, everything. So, yeah, I love you, man.
Thank you. That's awesome. All right, man. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Drive safe.
All right, let's jump over to, anyone that wants to talk to Gerald, not a new flat earther, just a flat earther that hasn't connected with anybody. But, that happens. Look, I mean, yes, there have been hundreds of regional meetups, and there's conferences in multiple countries, and we have a conference, 2 conferences in the United States, maybe 3, one in UK, one in Amsterdam, one in New Zealand. This is no fluke. All right, let's jump over to 818 area code 818. You're on with Strange World and Zuluone. So what's happening out there?
Hey, Mark, it's Dan the Waterman. Hey, Mark, Zulu. Just want to shout out to you and everyone in chat.
Hey.
A lot of respect for both you and for Patricia for patience and kindness. It's not easy anymore. It's not easy for me. It was great seeing you. It's always a lot easier on my constitution, when I hear from you or see you.
Yeah.
I've been accused by some people of having too much expectation, and I know personally that you would agree. So I guess if you could address it briefly and what people should do. There's someone in chat also who I care deeply about, and we tend to get, some of us burn out and some of us do weird other, business ventures that things don't like or something. But I've been trying to be real, and it's been hard. And Flat Earth Clues 14 is it's a misnomer that if I wear a coat, I become credible.
Right.
But I think my credibility is, all right. That's not really the issue here.
Yeah.
But what do you do when your expectations of people are too high? Because we're going to be bringing in more and more people, and they're going to be at different levels of understanding.
Right.
And it's excruciating.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, and I've known you for a while now, and you are more passionate than most. And yes, look, expectation levels do vary, and your standards and your enthusiasm are way up there, no question. And seeing you down at the LA conference was great, and you did also all sorts of great things, and you are engaging as anyone. Just remember, don't forget that this is, for the most part, at least until we really break forward, it's still a hidden army. Meaning 90% of our members are people that just cannot, for whatever reason, admit it to friends and family and coworkers. And the ones that do, there's still a bunch of them. It's like, they're walking on eggshells. It's like, okay, can I do this? Because they're still not completely confident. There still are a number of people, yes, that have a whole bunch of conviction. They're willing to do street activism. but we're not quite, we're not at that cool critical mass part. All I can ask you is just be patient with the students, be patient with the soldiers. And I know some people probably don't like me using those words, but it's true. They're not there yet. But
Dare I say flat Earth sleeper cells?
Ooh, yeah, there you go, flat Earth sleeper cells. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of so many cool things that's happening. Don't forget what we have accomplished. And I know you probably didn't even poke in when I was giving my speech, which is why I gave you the printed version. But the speech really kind of talked about that, which was which is why I wanted to do a retrospective. And I know nobody here is listening has heard it because I think they didn't live stream any of that stuff. But it talked about how in flat Earth, years go by kind of like dog years. And even though we've only been doing this for 4 years, we've accomplished so much. And yes, you're absolutely right. It could be so much better, but that comes with time. I mean, like the first documentary, yes, mistakes were going to be made and assumptions were to be made and expectations were going to be made. And the first conference and the first international conference and so on and so on. And the early street activism. We're learning as we're going along because, look, we're in uncharted territory. So just... I'm not going to say rope in your passions because, I'd never ask that of you. You're a really passionate guy with a lot of convictions. Just hang on, don't forget to look back every once in a while. I know you love looking forward, but look at the path we've carved so far. It has been amazing. A quick note would be like just yesterday, Newsweek magazine decided they were going to attack Jaron, right? And normally, if you would have told me this 4 years ago, my jaw would hit the floor. And now it's kind of like I got to come up with ways to make Jaron feel better because he's disappointed that they're coming after him. Right. We've become so media spoiled that it's like, oh, yeah, Newsweek, they're giving you a hard time. Sucks, huh? It's like that's how we're kind of taking it now. It's like, what next? Yeah. If Time Magazine ran a story about Patricia and made her seem, like an awful person, most of her would be like, oh, who do I have to talk to, to get, it's not surreal anymore for us. It's all just, how we're still pushing this forward in so many things. Again, remember the Netflix thing it's only exploded a week ago and we're just getting our legs underneath us. So don't worry, man. You're there. You're right in the place you should be. You're an integral part of the LA team, or as Lou Zulu would like to say, the LA sleeper cell. And, when this thing goes full on, you'll be in a great, great place for it. Just don't forget how you got here, and where you are right now. I mean, yes, you're part of the clues. You were part of the documentary. You were part of the National Geographic segment. You were part of, I think, the AB or the CBS segment before they tore that down. You've been in a lot of really cool things yet. Look forward and back simultaneously. How's that for my motivational speech?
Okay. That's good. Can you give an outside speech to other people about the reference to actually meeting up and then getting around to doing things? And when I heard Karen and Jack go out a couple of weeks ago, they talked about how hard it was flying. And I was wondering if they had used a coat, and I'd like to talk about, if you could just touch on people and groups in the coat, just are so commanding. And
yeah, absolutely. The code of credibility is no joke. No joke whatsoever. It is so, because it's a symbol for me anyway, to kind of explain to people, look, you see this in the clue, which is it's a uniform that portrays something that that our enemy has basically used time and time again. And that is, if you wear the coat, you can say anything you want and the people will give you instantly more credibility. I'm not kidding you when I say this. You could put two people, three, it's great, but two people could do it. One with a microphone and one with a freaking camera. And the person with the microphone holding a clipboard with empty paper on it, no writing at all. And you won't even have to have people, you don't even have to solicit them. They will stop and talk to you because they think you're doing something for something official because you're wearing the coat. It is authoritative. The what?
It makes it look more authoritative. 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 It makes it look more auth Makes them look more authoritative. Is that the
Absolutely,
word?
it does. Absolutely, it does. They think it's like, oh, they're doing this for some research project, for some university, or some television show, or something, or whatever. Because people
They're automatically inquisitive. Automatically inquisitive, and it changes the game. It changes the game if they come to you. Period.
It's true.
That's
they walk up to you. It's like, what are you doing? You won't even have to try. They see you holding the clipboard and wearing the coat. It's like, oh, he's safe. He's approachable. He's not, he's not wearing a sandwich board, handing out flyers. It's easy, and you can do whatever you want with it. In fact, some of the people that I've talked to early on, before I even made the coat clue, I said, wear something official, wear something. If you can't wear a lab coat, wear a suit, and hold a microphone. And people are suckers for that. I mean, it's not just the coat, of course, but the coat helps so much. The coat is such a great simple power. Anyway, we got 45 seconds, so we're going to music, man. So whatever else you got, throw it out there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who to come out and host Flat Earth Hollywood. I bumped into Mad Mike for the first time, and he seems reasonable. And I'm trying to decide if I should, reach out there to that festival, because it is close by, and it looks like Chris Pontius is going to be there. So I'm hoping to maybe push the Exit the Matrix thing if everyone else wants to.
Cool. All right. Right on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And by the way, feel free to call in on a regular basis. You don't call in enough to this show, man.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it, Mark.
All right. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
Shout out to Zuluone.
Of course. And
bye,
shout
Dan.
out to Cloud.
Love it, big man.
All right. We're going to our final break, and we'll come back with Zuluone, and we'll pick a few more calls and make a few more observations. Whatever. Something. Don't judge me.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. Earlier, we had the Taylor Swift Hour of Power. Before that, we had Zuluone singing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. And just now, we had Steppin' Out from his album.
I think it was Joe Jackson.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Night and Day. However, the
awesome.
Peanut Gallery and some of the people in the chat, because we're screwing up the order of things, and technically, you're with me and you're from New York, so you know what I have to do, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
New York, New York.
Yeah, that's right.
My vagabond shoes.
Yep. They're longing to stray. All right, so that was for Caroline, and yes, she just gave me all sorts of hearts, and wow, even a semi-nude photo. I'll take it. All right,
I'm sure I'm the only guest you sing to. Just want to know, because
you are. You are the only guest I've sung to.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, if I get another guest from New York, I don't think I could do it though. I don't think I'd feel comfortable enough. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I'd kind of feel like you were cheating on me.
Thanks, man.
I love it. I love it, Mark. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for all you do, and everybody that calls you. Just thank you.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Again, I try to tell people, and I was doing this down in the Los Angeles thing, because people, I get the questions like, why are you doing this? It's like, I'm not. I have no idea what I'm doing on pretty much any daily basis. It's the roller coaster car just grabbed me, said, you're going to Flat Earth Town. And along it went, and it basically, some warning sign says, "Don't you ever think about getting out of this thing." It's like, okay, see where it goes.
Yep.
So
and Kyle says, the ancient art of winging it.
The ancient art of winging it. Well, no, it's not necessarily winging it. It is doing whatever the world tells me to do. It's like, okay, you're doing flat. You know what I mean? That Jerry Maguire moment. But imagine having a Jerry Maguire moment pretty much every day, and then deciding not to fight it, even though it feels ridiculous. It's hard to explain sometimes. Sometimes it feels divine, and sometimes it feels just weird. It's probably a good thing I don't do drugs.
Up until 3 years ago, I wouldn't even considered that aspect of divine.
Yeah, me neither. All right, let's see how many we can pump through real quick. We're going to limit people to 3 minutes, hopefully. Maybe Peanut Gallery keep a stopwatch on this thing. Let's do 612 first. 612, you're on with Zulu and Mark, and well, actually, it's the same thing. Mark and Zulu, whatever.
Hello,
what's happening?
How are you? What do you got?
Yeah.
Hey. So how you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
So I heard you, Mark, called in on Monday Night Raw last night, trying to consult Jaron about Behind the Curve.
Yes, I
and
definitely did.
yeah. So, and I know that you're panning the movie like Jaron is, thinking it's all scripted, especially with his, failed experiment, which I'm seeing making the rounds on YouTube. And a lot of the comments refer to it as Jaron's failure, kind of a take on Aries' failure.
Oh,
which I thought was
I
kind of
wouldn't have
humorous.
thought of that. That's actually a fairly clever thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and I just, hearing you guys kind of, pan the film, it almost kind of gives me a take with those people that, do the post-show interviews for reality shows like The Real World, where they say, oh my gosh, they made me look like I didn't know what I was talking about. Oh my gosh, they made me seem like a goof. Well, at the time you were, and that's just the way it is. And I think you guys are just mad that you got caught.
See, I don't know where you're coming from on this one. First off, I have never officially panned the film because I could see it for the greater good, because I went to the film festivals and actually sat with the audiences without them even knowing I was there. And I called this right after I saw it in April of last year, which was, I told everybody, I go, look, the Flat Earth community is going to hate this movie, but it will generate so much dialogue for the Flat Earth topic that it'll do nothing but add. It'll be one of the greatest recruiting tools in the long run that we ever had.
Well, you mentioned how the film seemed to change its dialogue when the 12-year-old got involved. Which,
well, not change its dialogue as much as they decided that in the editing they were going to, instead of making, from the filmmaker's standpoint, instead of making it completely neutral, they were going to lean to the science side. But it didn't change. It didn't change after that point. They decided to just change the whole tone of the movie.
Well, I think that's a good thing, actually, because I think trying to push Flat Earth on kids is beyond irresponsible and beyond right.
And there he goes. I'm sorry. We don't allow trolls too much of an audience here, and your time is up. Moving on. Let's go to 215 area code. 215. You're on with Strange World right now.
Who are you guys? Is this Mark and Mark on Strange World? Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Oh, God.
Hey, Space is Fake. Sean from Boston. How we doing, baby?
Doing fine.
Doing good. You're better than that last caller.
No.
Yeah,
again,
no. I'm not mad at him.
Oh, no. It's no offense. Look, there's going to be people out there. Again, that's what the one guy from that large channel said. He said, he goes, you shouldn't be told. Go ahead.
I came to complain about Dan the Waterman because he loved the attention. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to speak a word on it. That was just a little plug. Anyways, how we doing? So I had a debate last night, my first Globe debate ever. I mean, not the first debate. I went on there drunk as fuck, and I just wanted to yell at someone a couple days ago.
Okay.
But I re-went on his channel last night, and he is refusing to upload it. He's refusing to upload it.
What, the debate?
Yeah.
Well, was he losing? Was he losing?
I would call it a stalemate. I wouldn't call it a win, but I mean, because I'm not a debater. I'm not very good at that.
He obviously didn't like something about it.
Debater.
He didn't upload it, and that says enough for me, babe. So, therefore, my friends were restreaming it, and I have downloaded that version with the commentary and a fair use notice, and I retyped the whole fair use notice thing in the description. So I don't think he can really do it. I mean, it's my voice in the thing, plus commentary that are talking over it the whole time. So I don't really think he can do anything against me. And if he wants to, go for it. But, like, then I get to copyright him for my drunk escapade that he has 8K views on. So therefore, upload the damn debate, you puss. You know? Come on, Reds. Like, come on. It wasn't a bad debate. It wasn't bad. Also, you know, how was Q&E?
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed the Question Everything Festival or conference down in Los Angeles. It was good. Got a chance to, you know, meet up with a lot of great people as we have before, and spread the word and do some secret meetings outside with some influential people, hopefully to expand the Flat Earth content. And it was good. You know, it was a great warm up for the New Zealand conference that's going to be happening at the end of April. So excited. Yeah. Cool. I always like doing the LA stuff. It's nice. The weather sucked, but it was
they
good.
have a real following out there. It seems to be happening as hell out there. You know. That's cool.
They're not exactly the most cohesive group in the world. There's a lot of you know, friction, but again, that's Los Angeles for you. That'd be with just about anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, hate to do this to you, but I'm trying to rip through as many calls as I can. Any shout outs before
All right, I love you both. Shout out to Rhetoric. Upload the video, you pussy. All right, love you guys. Bye.
That's right, people. Shots fired, apparently. I don't want to give Red's Rhetoric any more time. Look, you know, I actually do want to give a little advice to Red's Rhetoric, because he's been doing this long enough. Look, you got to know by now that the Flat Earth community is not going to come after you, and you would make a lot more impact. Fine, if you don't want to tone down the profanity, that's fine. I mean, you're not going to get any mainstream traction, that's for sure. But use your freaking name in your face. People will respond to it. But you get a lot more people, because people respect you in some aspects, at least for the way you articulate things. But if you don't show your face or give out your name, how can we find you and kill you? No. I mean, how can we find you and debate you? That's what I meant to say.
You can't send a drone strike if you don't know who he is.
Exactly. I know. My drone strike button is gathering dust right now. Nothing's happening. All right, let's jump over to 510 area code. 510, you're on with Strange World right now.
The Marky Mark show. What's going on, fella?
Daniel.
What's going on, Nathaniel?
I get yet. What are you doing? You're driving?
Yeah. A little bit better.
Oh, there you go. Oh, and you had the window open.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't don't call with the window open, Nathaniel. That's bad.
That's the cheap headphones. Man, I hate the fact that I'm being I hate the fact that I only got a couple of minutes, man, because I really want to talk a little bit, but I'm going to try to condense it down. To the caller that was calling before the break, I think one of the things that we always got to remember, or we should remember, is appreciate the journey, you know? We are in a time right now where, you know, whether we want to accept it or not, we want something right now type of state. And even though, you know, for some of us, this is 4 years, and 4 years seem like a long time, it really ain't long at all, you know? So just appreciate the journey. You know, however you want to spread it, you know, whether it's through, you know, meetups or however you do it, you know, let that person do it the way that they do it. And, you know, also in this community, we got to stop taking ourselves so serious, because I think we're starting to get to that point as well, too. I'm glad that I don't know about a lot of the drama that goes on. If I do know it, it's only because my brother Mark told me about it. I kind of tend to stay away from all the silly stuff.
Yeah.
But just some of the stuff I've heard from D. Marble and others about how people want to try to control what somebody else saying, so on and so forth. I thought that was the very thing that we were speaking against. But yet and still, us as quote unquote, believers of the flat earth find ourselves doing some of those same things. So it's kind of ironic. And, one thing flat earth don't show me is that some people just going to be who they are, no matter how eye-open this is and how of a paradigm shift, we all tend to fall back into that regular state of mind if you're not careful. That's why, in my opinion, we always got to, look at that man or woman in the mirror, and self-evaluation is everything. But that ain't your thing. That's cool too. Do you? But yeah, that's pretty much all that I had, man. I enjoy you guys, man. To the Bobs, the Cammies, the Jarens, D. Marvels, and the Hulk, Patricia, and everybody, man. It's a lot of people, that I can't even all mention, but we got to remember this is a leaderist movement, but at the same time, some people don't be mad if somebody's a front runner, though. Someone who's
right
out there. You can't be mad at that person.
Yep, it is not Occupy Wall Street.
Absolutely, and this is the last thing I want to say. In order to beat the system, you got to be a part of the system. So you got to infiltrate it. You know what I mean? Because if you remember earlier, everybody was against, TV is this, TV, being on TV this. In order to beat the system, you got to get into the system in order to get ahead of it. So what we scared for? If the truth is the truth, you ain't got nothing. Stand alone on the truth. Ain't nothing to worry about. People gonna say what they gonna say. People gonna do what they do, and I don't think people really understand it when you say this. But even though we don't want that to happen, but you said on Calendar Time, something was to happen to you. Guess what? The show will continue to go on, and that's for any of us. It won't stop because the truth is the truth, and all we gotta do is stand on it. So,
all right, man.
That's my spiel. Love you guys. Keep spreading that news. Keep it flat. I holla.
Peace out, Brooklyn.
That was Eddie hung up before I even got a chance to take him off. He just dropped the mic on me. That's amazing. All right, let's see how many more we can knock out. Let's do 915 area code 915. You were on with Strange World with Mark and Zulu. What's happening?
Hey, what's happening, Mark? It's my first time calling. I'm a big fan.
Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. What's up?
A little bit nervous, man, but
no, don't be.
Awesome. Anyways, man, I'm a big fan. I'm a flat earther by heart.
Good for you.
I saw the documentary. I saw the documentary like twice already.
Mm-hmm.
The second that I heard you talking, I swear, man, I just smiled. I got happy. It was a very good documentary, man. I liked it.
Cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of tricked me out, it was that Matt Boylan guy. I never really heard about him. I know, man. I never really heard of him. Like you said,
you never heard of Matt Boylan?
Well, I heard it from you, but I never really kind of like searched into him or like heard anything from him from his side or nothing like that.
That's him, the myth, the legend.
But I know, man. I know, but I got your back, man. We're all Mark Sargent. I'm Mark Sargent, man, and I got your back. And it's my first time calling. I appreciate you, man. Like I said, I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first time calling.
That's okay.
And
awesome.
There's only like 3 million people.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 million. I know. But like I said, big time props, man. I don't think you're an agent, and if you are, man, I back you up. I don't care, man. I mean it.
Oh, that's nice. Zulu, take him off the list, okay? We won't hurt him. Right. That's awesome. Seriously, it's great.
Okay. You will receive an email.
There you go. Yeah, Zulu, man. God bless you too, bro. You're awesome, man.
Cool, man. Thank you. Thank you. I am touched. That's wonderful. And I'm glad you liked the documentary. Glad you didn't hate it too much. And feel free, by the way.
I liked it.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Yeah, feel free to call in other times because I always because I don't recognize the caller name, and I won't mention it. But yeah, that's great.
No, that's fine. My name is Ever. I call myself the cable guy. I've been doing satellite installs since I was like 13.
Oh, it's not your porn name. That's actually a profession. Okay.
Yeah,
That's my name ever, forever, whatever. But,
okay.
I call myself a cable guy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I know every day I do installs. Every day I point to the sky. Every day I'm pointing at something that I don't even know, and I know we're not spinning.
Right.
But just wanted to say that you're the man. We all got your back. We're all Mark Sargent, man, and keep up the good work, man. Everybody.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll talk soon. Okay.
Cool, dude.
Thank you, Mark. Later.
Right. See ya.
Later.
Let's pick. Sorry, go ahead, Zulu.
No, I was just saying later. Cool dude.
All right. He's cool dude. All right, let's grab. I don't know if we can get. We'll grab 360 first, and then 612, and then we'll call it. We'll put a bow on this thing. 360. You're on with Strange World, which means you're in my neck of the woods. What's happening?
Marky Mark.
Hey.
What's up? No, I don't think we can use that reference if we want to be the young Flat Earth group. Isn't that Marky Mark?
I think we're a couple bus rides past young, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Some great calls tonight. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Great work.
Yeah, it has been fun.
Yeah, I'm following up to a guy a couple calls ago who's talking about, why do they get so uppity if we come in and start talking about the Earth may be flat when it's supposed to be free speech is what it's all about, and people infighting and so on. Well, one of the things that I thought about a lot is that the reason why people are so reproached by even the idea that anybody would bring up flat Earth is that the sense of place is developed at the very young age of when we first open our eyes, even before that, because you have the sense of movement in your mother's womb.
Right.
You come out, eventually you see. So this sense of place is the fundamental way you define yourself. So if somebody wants to program you, and they do that at an early age before you are able to reject the idea, that idea is going to be so strong in your head that when other people come to you later and say, well, we don't live on a spinning ball, they can't fathom it.
Yeah.
So just to let me get to the point, I believe it's a binary equation. That gentleman's correct. We should be able to bring it up, the subject, and debate it. But if you look at statistical analysis, we could probably do this. I guess I should, since I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
You can take a number of probabilities and calculate the expected value of that and apply it to a binary equation to flip the switch. You can't. The people that say I'm on the fence about flat Earth, they're more like, it's really more like they just can't go there.
Right.
For the most part. Or they don't have the time to go there and they reject it.
Yep.
So the fact that it's binary and the fact that it's the sense of place is the first thing implanted in our minds is the reason why you have to get that switch flipped. But on the positive side, as you know, and this is what you guys are good at, you and Julie both, if you get out there and get the message out, eventually when that is opened up to where that switch finally can hit enough, I don't know, amperage, if it's a capacitor, to flip over, go the other way, or if it's a binary equation, then it becomes very strong in the mind the other way, and that's why once you're flat, you never go back.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to follow up and say this binary equation works in our favor eventually, and they probably groupthink knows that because the intelligence people, like his second point was a couple of callers about infiltration and the ability to propagandize the population without people realizing it, or how the CIA, MK Ultra, Tavistock have been working for many, many decades, right?
Right.
So we got to do the same thing. They're right on. But then once that switch flips, they're in trouble on the other side.
Yep. Hey,
do it.
Hate to do this to you.
Yeah, sorry, that was a long one. But
no. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Zulu. I love it. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, see ya. By the way, I would appreciate it if actually more people did call in and did some rendition of New York. That'd be awesome. All right, let's pick up one last thing. And we're only going to give you a minute. 612. Unfortunately, where are you calling from?
Start spreading the news.
Oh God.
Funny. Oh God. Hey, long time caller, super annoying caller. Long-time listener. That's what I meant to say.
You even screwed that up. Unbelievable.
I did. Oh, it's terrible. I had it all right, and then at the last second, you're like, oh, yeah, I wish other people would call in and start singing. I'm like, oh, man. So, yeah, what's up? And I even put that. I even got that on a video.
We're by the way. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Peanut Gallery has a quote. Hang on, I got to read this for you. Ready? It's real quick. He says, "Don't just teach your kids to read. Teach them to question what they read. Teach them to question everything." That was from George Carlin, and then he says, "And then hang up." Oh, okay, that was easy. Okay, so Zulu and I, we have our closing arguments now. Any little things? Any last comments? You got about 2.5 minutes to just wrap with me. Any little thing? I know we're going to wrap after the show anyway, but
sure. Well, just back to the documentary. As far as for me, I enjoyed it because I got to see the people that I had up until then had only talked to. Well, obviously before the documentary came out, I met you guys and everybody, but it was good to see everyone. For me, that was the good part, to see everyone, just being them and being people and seeing what they're doing. And, that's what I enjoyed about it. The guys dissing us and making fun of it and whatever. They showed, they did not discuss any facts, no figures, so that it's not credible. Even if you are a ball earther, it's not a credible thing. It's clearly just, trying to show us as maybe these guys are crazy, and that's it, because they didn't discuss facts or figures or anything. If that was the case, why weren't the scientists talking about the curvature?
Right.
So it really was just that. And I get it, man. The guy's trying to make money. He's a movie guy. That's what it's all about. So whatever. I don't take it to heart that way. Obviously, if I was Jaron or Bob, who I know and are great guys, yeah, I'd be pissy too if they
either misquoted or edited around them, or didn't use a lot of the footage.
Yeah, definitely. I would be pissy at that too, for sure. Yeah. But like I said, for me, it was that. And you're right. Holy shit, it's on Netflix. So many people are going to see it. And there has to be logically a percentage of people that are going to say, you know what the hell is this flat earth? Let me look into this.
Exactly.
And then there has to be a percentage of them that are like, holy shit, we've been being lied to.
Yeah.
This is real.
Unfortunately, we got music in 15 seconds, so I would like to officially thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
No. The pleasure was all mine. That's from Office Space, by the way.
Mark Sargent.
Shout out to Ace McLeod. And so we'll see everybody next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. And he's plugs. He'll never stop talking. I'll be on Patricia Steer tomorrow. Later for another Hot Potatoes.
Nice.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Night school Thursday nights. Bye.